and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Abby, and today we are in for a little treat, literally, because we are going to be baking some gluten-free lemon bars together. Now, I love baking so much. It's been a passion of mine ever since I was little. However, a few months ago, I was diagnosed with celiac disease. I have a gluten intolerance. So obviously, I was really worried about how I would be able to bake now that I can't use regular flour. So I did my research and I came across this Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 baking flour, and honestly, if you have celiac disease or a gluten intolerance, you have to check out Bob's Red Mill. This is not sponsored, but they are just an amazing company, and I tested out this recipe using this flour and it turned out amazing. Pretty sure my family ate the lemon bars in around 2 days. If that. They were gone in like 36 hours. Needless to say, the recipe turned out really delicious. And so if you are gluten-free and worried about finding a good recipe, this one is for you. And if you are not gluten-free and you prefer to make it with regular flour, you can of course do that as well. So go ahead and get your ingredients ready. I will have them flashed on the screen, and then let's go ahead and get baking. You'll need butter, 2 eggs, 1 lemon, powdered sugar, white sugar, flour, baking powder, and salt. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to start off by doing is greasing and flouring our baking pan. The recipe originally calls for an 8x8 pan, however I do not have one, so I use this 9x13, and it works great. The crust is a little bit thinner and the filling is a little thinner, so if you prefer to have thicker lemon bars, you can go with the 8x8. However, you get more pieces out of this and they're a little bit flakier, so I like using this. First off, I am just going to take some oil, and you can use vegetable oil or a cooking spray. It's actually easier if I just go like this. Drop some in, and you can use your hand, or I just use a paper towel or napkin to spread this around the sides. You're going to take some of your flour and then sprinkle it in, like so, and then kind of just tap it around till it gets all covered. And this just keeps the dough from sticking to the bottom when you go to and take it out. I forgot to mention to preheat your ovens to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, so make sure you do that if you haven't done it already. Now we are going to work on the crust. First, you're going to take 1 stick of softened butter, or half a cup. Life hack for you guys: if you forget to put out your butter earlier, you can put some water in a glass, microwave it until it's really hot, dump out the water, and then you stick it over the butter like so the heat warms the butter inside. And I actually did this today. If you follow me on Instagram stories, you saw, and yeah, it literally softens it super fast. So life hack for you guys. We are going to start by putting the softened butter into a bowl. This is salted butter. If you prefer to use unsalted butter, you're just going to add more salt later on. And now we are going to do a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. Good enough. And then we are going to beat this together. Once that is combined, I'm going to add the flour and a little bit of salt. And like I said, since this butter is already salted, you do not need too much. If you're using unsalted butter, use a 1/4 teaspoon. Now we are going to use 1 cup of flour, and again, this is the Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 baking flour. Okay, we're going to put 1 cup of flour in there. And then I always like to mix it first to kind of combine it a little better before I use the mixer again. And now we're going to mix it up. Now when you mix this, a dough should be forming. It's going to combine together like so. My least favorite thing is getting all the stuff off of the beaters. It just like really bothers me because I have OCD and like want to get it completely clean. So I'm going to do that and then catch you back. Alright, so now that I've cleaned up the beaters, we are going to press this down into our baking tin. So just go ahead and spread this onto the bottom. And I will say it's harder with this gluten-free dough. It's a lot stickier and softer than traditional dough is. So just go ahead and flatten that out and make sure it's even, and then we're gonna put it into the oven for 18 to 20 minutes. All right, so as I said, I just put it into the oven for 18 minutes and then I'm gonna check it. When you bring it out, you want it to have a light golden brown on it, but make sure that it's not overdone because we're gonna be rebaking it again. So now let's go ahead and start on the filling. So what you're gonna need are 2 eggs, which we're gonna start with first. We had to get these brown eggs this time for my health reasons, and I just think they're so cute because we normally get the white ones. I don't know, I just think they're so cute. Like this one has little speckles on it and I love it so much. Anyways, so we're gonna do 2 eggs. Here, and then we're going to add 1 cup of sugar, and you can use granulated sugar. However, I have some of this baker's sugar that I need to use up, so that's what I'm doing. And then we are just going to add a little bit of salt, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and then for the star of this recipe, the lemon. If you want to get some more juice out, you kind of just roll it onto the table. Now this recipe says 3 tablespoons, but I kind of just eye it and add in as much as I like. These lemons are really small and I really like the lemon flavor, so I normally add in around half of a lemon. And then you're gonna go ahead and grate in some fresh lemon zest, so I'm gonna do that now. The zest is what gives it its really strong lemon flavor, so the more you add, obviously the more lemony it will be. And then you're just gonna go ahead and whisk this all together. Now the crust is out of the oven and it's a light golden brown, and now we're just gonna add our filling right on top. Make sure it's all spread out evenly, and then we are just gonna pop this back into the oven for between 20 to 25 minutes. And last time I think I did mine at about 23. You just wanna see that it has kind of like a golden brown but not too dark because you don't wanna overbake it. You wanna make sure that the filling is not too jiggly. It needs to be a little bit burnt. And there you have it. This is straight out of the oven. I will show you guys what it looks like. It's so hot. Here we go. So as you can see, it's just like a nice light golden brown, and don't worry if it looks like this. If it's any darker, then it's overdone, but I think this is really good. And then you just let it cool and finish it off by dusting it with some powdered sugar and then slice it up and enjoy. So I hope that you guys liked this recipe. It was a lot of fun to do a little bake with me video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel to see more of my content, and then all of my social media links will be down below, but they're mostly just postcards from Abby. So if you guys want to follow me on there, I'd love to have you. And yeah, I hope that you enjoy this recipe and I hope that you make it. Bye!